Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to Merc with a movie vlog. I am Josh the Merc Raynor here with my best friend, my brother, John, and we are here to talk about the new Scream trailer. That's right, Scream. Some people like to call it Scream 5, but for some weird-ass reason, they're just calling it Scream, just like Halloween. John, how you doing?
Dude, I am doing great. I'm excited to be here today and talk about Scream with you.
Absolutely, man. I am pumped. We just a couple of days ago went and saw the original Scream in the theaters for the 25th anniversary. That was a hell of an experience. Neither of us had seen that on the big screen. What was your overall thoughts on the experience of seeing that in the theater?
Seeing Scream live on the big screen for the first time was like, it really restored my belief, the reason why Scream is my top horror movie of all time.
Yeah.
You sat beside me the whole time. I quoted the whole damn movie pretty much line from line. There was a gentleman who sat next to us who we were bouncing before the movie started, bouncing Scream trivia back and forth with one another, and it's always a great experience. And I loved Scream. It re-revolutionized what I believe the horror industry was. It's not just a slasher film, but it puts the whole thriller aspect in there as well. The suspense of the first time you watch it, going back and watching it now, seeing it 100 times, there are so many signals that Stu and Billy are the killer.
Yeah.
But then, in the early 90s, without all the spoilers and everything, you're just like, holy fuck, who is it?
Yeah. Like you said, going back and rewatching it, knowing that there are tells for each of them.
Yeah.
They hold the knives and they kill differently. And so it was really interesting to see that with that knowledge in mind and kind of be like, oh shit, that one is Stu, that one is Billy. That was actually really cool. I really enjoyed that. So then just a couple days ago, we just got a poster. I'm going to show that real quick. Look at this beautiful poster, people. It's fantastic. What'd you think of the poster? Yeah, let's bring that up again. Tell me what you thought about this. Look at this. It's simple.
And that's it. Like it's simple, and that's all it needs to be. Scream doesn't need to be some. I mean, if you look at any of the three cases for the movies, each one of them are simple and basic. They have never went over the top with Scream.
That's true, and I like this.
And that's one of the things. Yes, and that's what excites me. It's because me and you talked about this day after Scream about how we feel the next movie should start.
Yeah.
And like I said, they always start with a scene of somebody dying. It's the phone call and hello. And, it's classic. What's your favorite scary movie? Someone dies, movie opens.
Yeah.
I really want it to be Neve Campbell this time. I want her to die right at the beginning.
Well, I'd love for you to tell the fans why this is your
okay. So with Scream 4, that was supposed to be the start of a new Scream trilogy. Like that was what they wanted. And that was before the TV series and all the wonderful fan base coming back. It was running off of the original Scream nostalgia, and people were like, hell yeah! And Sydney came back and survived one more time. Yeah. Well, now you're gonna relaunch Scream essentially, and you're gonna move forward with this new one. And it's like you don't need Sydney anymore. Sydney survived 4 full movies at this point.
Yeah,
it's time for her to move on and essentially let somebody else take the Jamie Lee Curtis Scream Queen role. And I think that personally, if you opened the movie with Sydney's death, you could have a copycat killer being like, oh, Stu and Billy couldn't get this accomplished, but we did. And now we're going to go on this murderous rampage. And you figure with today's society, and Scream's always been set in the modern time of when it was filmed, you could easily go with something there's the shows like How to Make a Murderer, and there's all these documentaries out there. Scream could be based on instead of horror movies did it to me, or society raising me weird did it to me. You could just go off the fact that somebody watched all these murder things and would be the perfect murder.
Yeah.
And then use Stu and Billy's and Roman's MO.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. The premise kind of I think the premise almost leans a little bit that way. I looked up the official premise. It says 25 years after a streak of brutal murders shocked the quiet town of Woodsboro, a new killer has donned the Ghostface mask and begins targeting a group of teenagers to resurrect secrets from the town's deadly past. So, like, I think it could lean that route. You know what I mean?
It could.
It's a simple premise, but like just looking at it, they could lean into that, copycat, trying to dig up things from the past and maybe trying to get rid of the past, as well. Who knows?
You know what the best thing about copycat killers is, though, is like you said, and you used the exact words, simple premise.
Yep.
And it's just like Randy says, though, in the first movie, man. If they'd have watched Prom Queen, they'd have understood it. You never break away from the basics.
Yeah.
Always stick to what is going to get you to the dance.
Yes, absolutely.
Scream always stuck with basics, man. Like that's what makes them so good.
It's
the
true.
Fourth one tried to step up in my Scream, and I think that's where they kind of failed. Like, they instituted the webcams and they were live streaming the murders and stuff like that. People aren't ready for that Scream yet. They were still hung on to like the cell phone were a basic thing and like cloned cell phones. Now burner phones are a thing again. Like people have burner phones all the time. So now if you're going to tell me somebody copycatted somebody's cell phone and they're using it as a burner phone and they're going around killing people, I would 100% believe that again.
Yeah, man. Maybe they're just like using like a WhatsApp or one of those types of things. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
Just like maybe they're sending text messages and shit from one of those, like I said, like a WhatsApp, or I know there's other ones out there, but
now here's my real question for you. How excited are you that the original voice of Scream is coming back?
I think that's fantastic, man. Roger L. Jackson coming back to voice Ghostface, I think is great. Yeah.
I think it's a real positive side of things to shape up. We're getting most of the original cast back, who's still alive, because obviously, Jamie Kennedy died. And
we're getting Nev Campbell, Courtney Cox, David Arquette. They're all coming back, as well as Marley Shelton, who played Deputy Sheriff Judy Hicks in Part 4. She will be back as well. So that I don't know if that means that Dewey's retired. He might be, because it's been 10 years since Scream 4. 25 since the original, but it's been 10 years since Scream 4.
Here's a real question for you. What if they kill all three of the original cats?
Dude, I would not be shocked if multiple of the main three die.
I mean, you figure Gail's what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to use the word expendable, because she's not expendable, but she's not really.
I'll be honest. I think of the three, she's probably the one most likely to survive.
Really? You think she's the most likely?
Oh, yeah. I think it's easy to kill off Sydney, because, I mean, just thinking about the premise that you put out there, it would work. There's a deputy sheriff, so Dewey could go. You know what I mean? If you leave one of them, leave the one who can tell the story. Leave the reporter, the one who writes the books.
Good.
I think she's the one who would probably be most likely to survive of the three.
What if it is Gail, just to write a new book?
Dude, I mean, think about that tagline. I'll put the poster back up again. It says, "It's always someone you know."
Think about this for a book title.
Very easily be that.
Think about this for a book title: From Reporter to Killer. The reporter to the reported.
It could be interesting. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if she would necessarily want to get caught, but
no, I probably want to be caught. But think about it. It's the most famous she'll ever be in her entire life.
That is probably true. Yeah. I mean, a lot of them did want to get caught. You know what I mean?
Well, Mickey definitely wanted to get caught, because he knew it would come up with perk benefits for him. Because I'm pretty sure it was Mickey who says it, because otherwise it wouldn't make sense. But he's like, it's always about the interviews.
Yeah. He was all about, the TV and movie of making, he wanted to be famous for being a killer. Yeah.
Also, One more thing before we get into the trailer itself. Can we just appreciate one Scream, where they're talking about how if a movie was to ever get made, who would play who? I'll cast someone like Tori Spelling to play me.
Yeah.
And in one of the future movies, when they're doing Stab, Tori Spelling is playing Sydney.
Yeah. I think it's in Scream 2 when they.
I think it is Scream 2.
When they show the first Stab movie, she's playing her. Yeah, which I think is funny. There was one other thing. Yesterday they dropped some images from the movie. I just wanted to show real quick. We got our first look at Ghostface from the movie, which I'm loving it. It's classic. Looks great.
Look never goes out of style, man.
The cinematography, like the lighting and everything, is fantastic in this shot. Then we got Gail here and Sydney. We have a few other ones, but I'm only going to show one other. Then there's this shot here of I believe this is the new main character, played by Melissa Barrera. Her character's name is Sam Carpenter. I think she's supposed to be the new main character. And as you pointed out to me before we started recording this is Stu's house.
Yes.
And I looked it up to verify, to get like a side by side, and it's definitely Stu's house. It's what it looks like now. It's got the green trim and everything. That's not what it looked like in the original movie, but that's what the house looks like now. And for those of you who don't know, you could stay at Stu's house as a B&B. They're renting it out.
Yes.
As like an Airbnb type of thing.
Not gonna lie, man, I would totally stay there.
Yeah, absolutely. So, we've been chatting a bit for this. I think it's finally time to pull the Band-Aid off.
Hell's yeah!
This trailer. Are you excited, John?
Dude, I'm so excited. I can kill someone.
So pumped. Well, please don't kill anybody yet. Not yet. Here we go. All right, look, we got a house here. Who knows what's going to happen, but I'm excited to find out. I like that they're utilizing text, Amber. Like I talked about.
Game, Tara.
Yes.
Doors unlocked.
Oh shit!
All doors locked.
Hacking into her house system.
Doors unlocked.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Hello?
It's happening. 3 attacks so far. Do you have a gun?
I'm Sydney Prescott. Of course I have a gun.
Something about this one just feels different.
Oh,
Samantha? I know who you are. I've been through this a lot. This is your life now, which means that whoever this is going to keep coming for you.
So it seems like they're setting up this Samantha girl as the new Sydney.
You ready for this?
Yep.
Never.
So I could easily see Sydney dying.
There's certain rules.
It's obvious she's not going to die in the beginning, but
The attacks were all on people related to the original killers.
ooh.
Whatever his link is to our past, it's pulled us all back here.
Which explains why Stu's house
And I won't sleep until he's in the ground.
Yep.
is related to the original killer. Ooh. Somebody got set on fire.
It's an honor.
Yes.
Hells yeah. All right, John. Let's talk about this trailer.
Oh my God. Where do you want to start?
I don't know, man. Pick a place and let's go. Let's roll.
I love the fact that they're bringing it all back to Woodsboro.
Yes.
I mean,
Absolutely.
obviously,
Tying
the
it
second
all
and
in.
the third one got them a little bit away from Woodsboro, and like it could take place in other places. Obviously, the storyline's always centered around Woodsboro and Sydney. But yeah, it looks like they're really getting ready to try to pass the torch with this one. But I love the fact that technology has come so far that this is what Scream 4 was missing, was like shit like that wasn't in the movie. But now it's like it's become an integrated part of life that yes, just fucking straight yes.
Yeah, I love the idea of this version of Ghostface being able to like hack your home security system, unlocking the doors like that. Dude, that's cool. I like that a lot.
I love the utilage of a landline still as well. Like, answer the phone.
People still got them.
And like that would fucking freak me out if my landline was going off and all of a sudden you text me, you're like, yo, you should probably answer that. I'd be like, what?
Yeah.
And like
like I said, the use of texting, I think will definitely be a bigger role as well, which I think is good.
And I have to say, I love the fact that the trailer is simple.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, here's a bunch of the new cast. Here's your returning cast. Here's your shot of Ghostface in the voice. And pretty much like, there's not too much given to you. The murder we see in the trailer is probably going to be the opening scene then.
That's what I'm assuming, is that's the opening shot.
So it's like,
I'm cool with, yeah.
And yeah, it doesn't give that much away because then you'll have to still figure everything out at the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
So you know what? My hat generously tipped to the people who dropped this trailer because it was fucking phenomenal.
It was, man. I love Dewey asking, do you have a gun? I'm Sidney Prescott. Of course I have a gun. That was fantastic.
The only thing that makes me laugh is how Dewey's like, there's rules to surviving a horror movie. It's like, you give credit where credit's due. Randy taught you that shit.
Yeah, dude, that was fantastic. I like you had mentioned before, I love the idea that they are truly setting up the passing of the torch.
Yeah,
it's centered around this new girl Sam, and Sydney is essentially coming in to kind of help her. And I think that because of that, because in part 4, they weren't doing that. It was still about Sydney.
Yeah, it was still
with this. Sydney can die trying to save this other girl. You know what I mean?
She can have the hero role, man.
Yeah, and it passes that torch. So I have a feeling, and the way that Dewey looks, like he's tired, he's older. I have a feeling he may not make it either.
I mean,
I really do, especially
he's narrowly
with
survived. Like, there's always been a rumor that he's been like in on the killings to start. Because let's face it, Dewey always narrowly survives, but it's always because of like the fact that he's never critically injured to the point of like not returning. Yeah, you figure in the first movie he stabbed in the back. Yep. The second movie he stabbed in the exact same spot in the scar tissue. Yeah. And in the third movie he's shot.
Yeah.
But it's all blood loss, man. It's not like he's ever been like fatally wounded.
What if it's him? Like, what if he is one of the killers? I mean, that would be interesting.
That would be extremely badass.
Yeah, I think it could be fascinating. I would be interested to find, obviously to find out what his motive, like why he's doing it, especially why now.
It's not like there wouldn't be linkage. His little sister dies in the first movie.
That is true.
And it's 25. They're setting it 25 years after Scream 1, which means Maureen will have been dead for 26 years.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, and if the killer is like targeting relatives of the original killers, maybe that could be, maybe he's trying to seek some revenge in a weird way.
Maybe.
I don't know, man. No matter what, I'm interested. And
dude, January it's going to be great.
January can't get here fast enough. I want it. I'm so bummed that it didn't come out this year because it's the 25th anniversary. It's 10 years after the last movie. It would have been perfect. And I'm pretty sure it was supposed to because it filmed last year in 2020 from September to November.
Of course.
And so it's been done for a while. And so Yeah, I think it was originally supposed to come out, or like they were hoping to get it out this year. It just didn't happen, and so it's like missing the mark by like 2 weeks because it comes out the 14th.
Of course.
So I was like, oh, that's a bummer. But no matter what, I'm gonna be seeing the fuck out of this movie, man. It's gonna be awesome.
I'll be there too.
I'm so pumped for it. I'm so pumped. So any last thoughts on this trailer?
What's your favorite scary movie?
Yes, absolutely. If it's not Scream, it better be something good. You sons of bitches.
Showgirls. Absolutely terrifying.
Absolutely. All right, folks. Well, that is it for this trailer reaction. John, let everybody know where they can find you on the interwebs.
I mean, if you're absolutely interested in finding me, you can find me on Twitter. It's simply saying J1. I have a podcast myself. It's called Simply Sane with Jay, the Not Your Mama's podcast. On there is a link to my blog that corresponds with my podcast, so I can get a little bit more deep, dark, and personal and reveal shit from my past that I don't feel comfortable actually talking about. You can find me on Facebook at J John Made. And you can find me pretty much any place you can find Josh. We also share a couple podcasts. We share a podcast called Let's Call It McLaren's and Off the Ropes with John and Josh. You can find us there.
Yeah, so
Josh,
if you're into How I Met Your Mother or wrestling, check those podcasts out. You can find me on Twitter at JP Raynor. That's JPRAYNOR. And of course, right here on Merc with a Movie Blog at Movie Blog Merc. Be sure, if you like what you're watching here, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and hit that little bell so you always know when we drop a new video. And let us know in the comments, or in the comments here or on Twitter at Movie Blog Merc. What did you think of this trailer? Are you excited for the new Scream movie?
And who do you think is the killer?
Yes. Is it a resurrected Stu? Did he not die when she dropped the TV on his head? I don't know. We'll find out. Just
also,
a few months away.
Let Josh know what your favorite scary movie is for a chance to win an autographed 4x6 of one Merc with a Movie Blog himself.
Sure, I can do that.
I know you can.
Sure, if they want that,
out there, bro.
If they want that, all day, I'll do that. I'll sign some photos. But yeah, so this has been our trailer reaction for Scream on Merc with a Movie Blog. Thank you guys, and keep watching movies.